right, I'm going to drag us up. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Mach-1 Performance Cup Series presented by Full Throttle TV and Victory Fuel. My name is Brody Hanna. Alongside tonight in the booth, we have Tony Solari. And Tony, we are at the Chicagoland Speedway, not the road course, not the street course. We're looking for some great racing action here on the old oval tonight, and I want to get your thoughts early on what we're going to see tonight.
Well, my home track, actually. Been here a couple times. Yeah, it's not a bad place. Unfortunately, I think they're going to demo it, and we still have it on iRacing, which is kind of cool. And it's just it's a great little track, actually. Kind of round more than any straightaways. The back street's got kind of a curve to it, so everybody's in a constant turning radius. And yeah, it's pretty good, fun track. It's really sad that they don't go here and they go to the street course. But fortunately for iRacing, and they obviously still have it, and we've, as a league, decided to run this opposed to the street course, which, unfortunately, I don't know, mixed reviews last night.
Yeah, it's right here in your backyard. You know, we were talking. I was thinking about that too when we were coming on air. This is this back right here in your well, I won't say your backyard, but we're closest to you to
25 minutes away.
Yeah. So so you were giving us weather updates last evening about the Chicago.
Oh yeah.
We don't have any rain in the forecast tonight, luckily, but we do have some great 134 laps of great, exciting oval racing action here tonight at the Chicagoland. Yeah. What did I say? 164. I shorted them by 3. Sorry, this isn't NASCAR. We're going to run the full distance, hopefully.
Yes. We'll actually be able to get full distance today, so, which would be kind of nice. Which unfortunately we didn't see with either street course race so far. You know, for the Cup Series at least.
We've yet to see a full race. We've yet to see a dry race for the Cup Series at the track. We did get a good Xfinity race the other night, other day. So
I would argue if it wasn't for Shane, I just wonder what kind of a race it would really have been. But yeah, he put on a great show, and he does make it interesting for the entire field. But you know, is that really how you want to have a race? I don't know. I don't know. Sour grapes. They should be back at this track and not bulldozing it for another precast server center.
Yeah, and that comes from somebody that actually is in the vicinity of the track. So there you go. Yeah. We'll talk about tonight's race. Again, we're on the oval, Chicagoland Speedway, 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. But you talked about the curve on the backstretch, and that's going to be a talking point tonight as well. These guys don't really get a rest so much down the backstretch, although the camber kind of carries you through the backstretch kind of in a straight line, so that kind of helps out. But the usual D-shaped oval, you got the apron on the front stretch that people, some may be using, some may not. But we're going to see multiple grooves tonight. We saw that in the truck race. We saw guys all over the track in the truck race, moving up and down and running high, running low. We're going to see this tonight in the Cup race?
I would imagine so, yeah. I mean, you know, we kind of went ahead and we were talking about it too. You know, we officially iRacing runs the street course, which is in iRacing. But because we're running this track and because NASCAR doesn't run this track anymore, iRacing really hasn't done anything to the track. So this track really runs pretty well still in a lot of the different series. And, it's kind of like one of them little hidden gems.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of the drivers like this track simply because you can move around on the track in many of the series. You can run high, run low, run wherever your car kind of handles. And that makes it a lot of fun from behind the wheel. And honestly, a lot of fun for us to watch tonight as well. We can see some guys moving around, using different lines, maybe using a little strategy. Again, tonight we have stage racing. We go to the stage at lap 40. So we'll be watching that to see these guys attack the track for 40 laps, trying to get those stage points. And then we'll go into a little bit longer stint to get to lap 167. It makes up to 250 miles here tonight.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of green flag runs tonight too. I just with watching practices and you know, not everybody. I didn't see a lot of people get loose, out of shape. So you know, it should be pretty good. We should have a nice, good green flag run, which is what we normally would see in a regular Cup race here.
I also got to give a shout out too. This is off the beaten path as far as the iRacing official races go, and a lot of our drivers have voiced some concerns about that. But that's also kind of going to mix things up tonight a little bit too. I think you'll see some of the guys that worked on setups all throughout the week actually have a good run or have a good baseline for the mile and a half. It's no longer setup shops that you got to worry about, and unless you're going to have them build a specific setup for you, which could be the case. But these guys went to work this week and tried to put some setups together, and we'll see who can kind of come out on top with that situation.
Yeah, it does, you know, and I know we sprinkle in a couple of these tracks that aren't really on the official server. And, you know, for most people that don't know, you know, there's setup shops that make setups for, you know, each week, depending on the track. Well, if we switch the schedule up just a little bit, like tonight, you know, yeah, it kind of puts some of the drivers on their toes, and they got to kind of, you know, outsource the setup or try to come up with something on their own. And yeah, it definitely does shake it up a little bit, and you know, put some hair on people's chests.
Absolutely. We're waiting for qualifying to kind of wrap up here. Only a few seconds left here, and we'll talk about the starting order. But for sure, it's gonna be a fun race. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. Pit strategy, tire strategy, fuel. You know, there's a lot of things come into play that you wouldn't otherwise have on a road course. I know there's some work to be done on road course package as well in iRacing with some of the lack of tire wear and stuff like that too. So we've kind of jumped over that hurdle and went straight to the oval. So and then some of these guys are going to be looking forward to some close side-by-side racing tonight, hopefully, and some clean racing tonight.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling it's going to be, like I said, the cars look pretty stable out there, and you know, the track runs really good because they haven't messed with it. And you know, and I'm looking at times now too for qualifying. We got pretty much most of the field is within a half a second of each other, so a lot of guys did their homework, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good race tonight for sure.
All right, well, qualifying is just wrapped up. Waiting the cars to grid, and we'll talk about the starting lineup, see if we can get that started here. And on the pole for tonight's race at Chicagoland Speedway, if I can get it to show what I want it to show. I always have these issues from qualifying to race for some reason in this program.
Well, I could go at it. We had Richie Coy starting on pole position. Nicholas Moreau starting second. Then Jeff Chandler is starting third. You got Daniel Simmons starting fourth. Nate Biggert fifth. Ben Tracy sixth. Danny LaFleur seventh. Colby Mice eighth. Wayne Grassi ninth. Jonathan Vacone 10th. And then I don't know. You want to keep going, or I'll keep going. I have
them listed here. Since graphics not working, 11th place is going to be the 8 of Lane Allen. Starting 12th is going to be the 57 Joshua Johnson for Boomerang Motorsports. Boomerang Motorsports teammate James Wallace starts behind him in 13th in the number 67. And then you have TJ Bartell in the 20 and 14th. 15th is going to be the 26th of Matthew Vacon. 16th is going to be Sherwood Williford in the number 1. 17th is going to be Kyle Milliken in the number 42. Beside him is going to be Brian Dublé in the 37. And then 19th is going to be the 6 of James Torrey. To the outside of him is going to be the 20 of Ryan Hedrick. I'm sorry, the 47 of Ryan Hedrick in 20th place. 21st is going to be Dave Nestor in the number 36. Jamie Knopf is going to start 22nd in the number 48. Rolling off 23rd is going to be Alan Duranco in the 2, and last on the field is going to be the 54 of Alan Kroll in 24th spot.
Well, we got a pretty good field, yeah, and pace cars off. They're getting ready to come around to the green. Yeah, so, I don't know who I got money on right now. I mean, we got a bunch of good guys up front, and we might have some surprises down the end. I think it's going to be a nice, mean green run, though.
Well, a couple of notables. Nicholas Moreau's won the last 2 events, starting on the outside pole here at Chicagoland. Nathan Biggert up in the 5th spot, or on the 3rd row, 3rd row anyway. He's one to be kind of keep your eye on. Matthew Vacon, Jonathan Vacon are back with us this week, so we'll watch those guys come through the field. And starting towards the rear of the field, Jamie Knopf is one you got to watch. He had a poor qualifying lap, but he's always quick.
Yep, it's going to be interesting for sure. I think they are coming around.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 4, they got to get lined up here. Victory Fuel, number 19 on the inside. The Transit Chevrolet on the outside, and the number 77 of Moreau. Bringing them around. The pace car pulls off. They enter the restart zone, waiting for the green flag. Waiting. Green is out, and we are underway here at Chicagoland.
Well, yeah, they're kind of spread out. We already have one guy going down in the apron, maybe just collecting his thoughts, letting the field pass him, just riding around the back. It's always a good strategy to start off the race like that, I say.
Down the back stretch, Richie Coy got a great lead. Him and Jeff Chandler had a great start. Jeff's going to fall back side by side with the 77 in Moreau, and Simmons and Biggert side by side for the second row. But coming out of 4, Richie Coy is going to lead the first lap, and now Nicholas Moreau is going to move into second.
Yeah, Richie got clear, jumped to the outside, and just made that arc work, and yeah, he's setting off. He's got Nicholas right behind him, though, and then Jeff running third right now. So, yeah, we'll see how much longer they're going to stay like this.
Everybody kind of singles out back here. Get the race for 8th. Colby Meese and Jonathan Vacon side by side for 8th place.
Yeah, I'm looking. We got a couple of guys in the middle of the field about 2 wide, and we'll eventually get sorted out. Who's that low? 97, real low. Jonathan Vacon, he got real low on the apron there, going into 2 and 3 or 1 and 2.
We had a pass. Jeff Chandler and Nathan Biggert fighting for third place, and Biggert now has it. I'm sorry, Chandler has it. He holds him off.
Yeah, I'm trying to see too. Just waiting for some of these double files and multi-grooves to come in place right now. Everybody is kind of single file though for the most part. Wayne Grassi running low on the apron in the front straight. That's always a decent move. I don't know. For me, I'm not that guy. I think it screws up the car a little too much.
Well, in this car, I know it upsets the car when you make that transition from the race track to the apron. It really upsets the car for some reason. I don't know if it's the lower profile tire, the wider tire, what it is, but it really makes it kind of difficult to make that transition smoothly. I kind of avoid it myself because of that. You see the 57 Joshua Johnson doing the same thing. Short way around, but man, it can be a little tricky at times, especially on older tires.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things too. Yeah, you might not want to use it all the time, but there might be 1 or 2 times you might be able to get a little advantage out of it. It's never worked for me personally, but I'm not out there now.
Everybody knows to tell single file right now throughout the top 10. Colby Meese looking to the outside. And it's going to fall back in line behind Ben Tracy in the number 35. Meanwhile, battle for ninth, Joshua Johnson, Jonathan Vacon. Oh, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, and everybody up front, like you said, they're all single file. It looks like the top 10, almost top 12 are single file, and just nobody's really gaining, nobody's really losing on anybody, too. I mean, we do got a stage coming up in about another 34 laps, so they could just be kind of riding around. Some of these guys might not have had a lot of time to work on setup, so they don't know what this car is going to do.
I think everybody's biding their time, like you said, with tire wear and stuff, kind of biding their time, waiting. They know they have to lap 40 to kind of get it done, so now they're just kind of in tire save mode for the first few laps, kind of see where they fall in and see if they can charge towards the end for sure. You see Nathan Biggert still looking to the outside, running a little bit higher line than some of the other guys. Jeff Chandler right on the bottom. And I talked to Chandler before the race, and he said basically that their car is set up where they can run the bottom of the whole race. So now you see Nathan Biggert starting to make that move to the outside.
Yeah, he's trying to get something going, and it looks like he's got a good run as he's side by side with Chandler now. It looks like he's going to clear him.
He does down the backstretch. He is able to clear him and give Nate Biggert the third place spot in the O2. Moved up 2 positions from 5th, his starting spot. Now Daniel Simmons and the guys behind them kind of stack up and are looking for a way around Jeff as well.
Yeah, and I wonder if some of these other guys found some speed, or maybe Jeff's just kind of laying back a little bit, just letting it come to him as well. I mean, again, we still got quite a bit to go, and I don't know what tire wear is going to be like, but we always know with iRacing, tire wear is always a huge issue and something everybody's on everybody's mind when they're running these.
It is the issue in iRacing now. It's the tire wear. That's the thing you focus on, is to manage your tires, and whoever can manage their tires the best has the greatest shot to win. It just kind of is what it is, what we got right now. But now Daniel Simmons is going to look on the inside. I'm sorry, that's Danny LaFleur looking. Yeah, that's
Daniel.
Got my Danny and Daniel mixed up. Daniel Simmons looking to get by. Danny LaFleur is going to take advantage, though. Take that run to the outside. So is the 35 of Ben Tracy and the 9 of Colby Meese trying to take advantage of the situation. It's kind of slowed him up, and man, he got freight train there.
Yeah, Daniel actually, he went down the apron in the front stretch. Was able to get door to door with Jeff, but that outside line prevailed. I mean, maybe he just got in too hot. The arc gets a little tighter too when you take that apron on the start line. But yeah, it slowed him up.
Yeah, because down Daniel's back to 7th spot, started in 4th, so he's down 3 positions from his starting place. 11 laps complete here. Again, we still have a long way to go, but man, these guys are starting to figure out what their car can and cannot do. And the longer they run, the more they're going to find out that the car's either loose or tight. Oh, we got car sideways right there in front of the leaders. That was Jeff Chandler.
Wow. Stayed green. They were able to kind of keep it straight. Too, I'm looking at the lead. We had Nicholas Moreau passing Richie Coy, and Richie Coy is about ready to lose second right now to Nathan Biggert.
Nathan looking on the inside of Richie Coy. We'll go back and look at that masterful save by Jeff Chandler there and see what actually happened.
Yeah, it looks like Ben kind of was the loser out of that end there. He dropped back a little bit.
See if I can find it in our...
And then, well, we got Nicholas Morrow running first, Richie Coy running second. He still hasn't got, Nathan Biggert has not cleared Richie yet. And they're still going at it, though.
Man, Jeff Chandler having more issues back there. I think we just saw him. Let's see if it was the same thing here.
Let's see, I'm going back to see what happened. Jeff here.
I'm looking. Going down into turn one, Jeff Chandler. He gets into, no, he got into the 99 of Danny LaFleur, I think, got into him.
Yeah, and that was the initial, but maybe he just fell back and we didn't realize he fell back as bad as he did.
Yeah, he had some issues. He's kind of hung in there now. But tell you what, the 35 had to do some major avoidance there as well. Let's look at it one more time here.
Yeah, Jeff's position now in 13th. And he's got Sherwood behind him and James Wallace in front of him. Ben Tracy is 9th. And Joshua Johnson behind him, Lane Allen in front of him.
All right, let's see if we can actually see it this time. This is a lap before Jeff Chandler right here in front of Danny LaFleur, and we'll go back to live here in just a second. But being that this was an incident, it was hard to catch. So looks like Jeff comes off the corner, and Danny LaFleur has to run down the straightaway. Going into turn one. Actually, this is not even it, so we'll see if we can find it later. We're going to go back to live action. And Richie Coy back to 5th spot already. Man, we must have missed a lot here.
Yeah, well, Danny LaFleur is up to 2nd now as well. And he barreled through the field. I don't even we should have probably been watching him. But yeah, I'm looking at Richie. Richie looks pretty loose right now and just got up a little too tight up into the wall and had to woe it up, and some cars got by him.
See if we can see this again here. Danny LaFleur, Richie Coy battling for 2nd here. He goes right by with Nate Biggert, so looks like Richie's car is just falling off a little bit.
Yeah, meanwhile, we got Danny LaFleur. He's catching Nicholas. But
Danny's
right on him.
He's been quick too. I know him and Nick work pretty close together as far as working on setups and stuff, and it's kind of paying off. These guys at the top. You got Jonathan Vacon. The rest of their team, Jonathan Vacon is in 7th, and Matthew Vacon running in 13th. But these guys running 1-2 right now. Looks like their work's really paying off right now.
Yeah, and you wonder, some of these guys. I can't remember if we actually had this track. If we would have had like an old setup that would still possibly even work for this track, or just are you stealing from your Las Vegas set or some other track that's similar? Yeah, these guys are they're moving along pretty nice though.
Well, you've got to
only having a little. Some of these guys didn't even realize we were running this track until about 2 days ago.
Yeah, I saw those comments too, and honestly, I mean that's the thing too. It's kind of tricky because if you pull from Vegas, sure, it's similar in shape and size and everything, but there's a lot of other things you have to factor in as far as the grip on the track. The speeds may be a little bit different. The compound of the track maybe there's just a lot of things that you got to factor in. Maybe a different tire and everything too. So, just see we had the 54 enter the pits. Like he had a moment there.
Yeah, and Lane Allen is now working on Richie Coy. Looks like he's getting ready to clear him now. Richie's just sinking like a ship, and yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out later.
Yeah, Jeff with his issues 99, and now Richie falling back. Looks like Lane Allen is trying to work around him on the inside. Look at the 35. Ben Tracy, I don't know if he touched the wall, but yeah, I think he did touch the wall. All the way up against the wall through the corner there. So this is what I was talking about, the multi-group racing here. Some guys high, some guys low, some guys really high. And, just each lane can kind of work out if your car's set up for it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and like you were saying, yeah, if the cars are set up for it to run on that outside, especially when the tires get a little worn on them, you can do it. I'm looking too now. Josh Johnson just passes Lane Allen. He's working on Richie. Richie's battling a loose car, but he is staying outside because obviously he needs all that momentum he can get.
Yeah, I think they were a little concerned about being too loose because the grip does go away after a few laps, and you see Richie really hanging on to the setup right now. Joshua Johnson going by, the 57 on the inside, the 6th spot. He will take that spot from Richie Coy, maybe, if he can clear him, but that high side's still hanging tough out there.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm kind of watching, Richie gets a little loose there. I'm watching Ben Tracy, too. Ben's just kind of like letting everything unfold. I think he's got the car to kind of work his way back up there. And now he just gets by Richie.
Yeah, Lane Allen by, Ben Tracy by. Falling like a rock, man. That's a terrible feeling to have, too, because you can't, the car just will not cooperate. Thing just loose and just trying to hang on. You see Colby Meese and James Wallace behind him right now, or James Wallace actually beside him.
Yeah, and I know. And even Jeff Chandler's a couple cars behind, and then he's got, is that Matthew Vacon? Yeah, Matthew Vacon is working on Jeff Chandler right now. That's okay, guys. You got about 13, 14 laps to go. You can hopefully make some adjustments. And that's the one beauty about having the stage. It's kind of like a mulligan. You go in there and kind of, figure out what's wrong with your car and hopefully make it better.
Right on board with the 35 of Ben Tracy, man. He's been working this real high side off turn 2. Let's see how close he gets to it this time off turn 2. Oh, into the wall, actually. He's in the wall this time, and that's going to give...
He got extreme close.
James Wallace and Richie Coy their positions back right now. Got to take care of the car, man. It's got to make 167 laps. So, boy, these guys, there's a cluster right there.
Yeah, and I went back to the leaders just to see if anything has changed. And nope, we got Nicholas Moreau, Danny LaFleur, Daniel Simmons, the top 3. And they're all kind of just singled out, and nobody's really gaining on each other. Everybody's almost about a second off of each other as well. So.
Yeah, this is where the action is then, right here.
And we're at that point of the stage now too, where tires are showing their wear, and some of these guys, I'm waiting to see T.J. Bartel blow through the field because he's been saving all this time.
That's true. There they are, 3 wide.
And Sherwood, we got the tire misers. Yep, they're starting to show their way up front. Although there's just so much mayhem in front of them, it's like now that you got the tires, you got nowhere to go.
Exactly. So I was going to say they were 3 wide coming off turn 4 right there. So where do you go when they're blocking the track like that? And these guys are just trying to hang on right now, trying to find their way through the field if they've got a car. And some guys like Richie Coy, Jeff Chandler, some of these other guys just trying to hang on to the stage break.
Yeah, and I know they were probably hoping it's like lap 30 or 35, but no. It's all right. You got a little bit longer to go, and I'm just kind of looking towards the back of the field. Everybody's pretty singled out. Looks like a couple cars are struggling. Good in Q runs, but they're just falling back kind of like the Fury teammates.
Brian Dublé in the wall there. There were 3 wide coming off 2. He got loose, ping-ponged off the 48 who was under him, and straight up into the wall. So it's going to be some pretty good damage for the 37 there.
Yeah, him and Colby got really close to each other, and there almost was something there. And then, yeah, it almost looked like he may have taken a little bit of air off of him. The way I wouldn't say it was net coat or anything. But.
There was definitely something there. There was a car there, and unfortunately, when he got loose, it just turned him right down into the car under him and shot him up into the wall. So I had to
get that fixed.
He doesn't
look too bad. Yeah, he don't look too bad.
Meanwhile, Jamie Knopf, now our biggest gainer right now, up 11 positions in 11th spot, trying to crack that top 10 for these stage points.
And that was one of the guys you were talking about early on. I probably put him into the tire miser category himself. And we always see him towards the top 3, top 5 at the end of these races. So, there's a guy that knows how to manage tires.
And the guy going the other way is Richie Coy right in front of him. So you got the backs met the front right here. And so these guys struggling. Well, one struggling, one gaining positions, going two different directions. Behind them, it's still a gaggle. They're still 3 wide back here. And now 2 wide down the front stretch. This is for, 12th on back?
Yeah, I'm watching them too. I know they're all battling. They're hoping for them stage points. You never know what could happen, and they're so close to that 10th place position that they can get something. And I'm watching TJ Bartel. He's starting to move up.
Yeah, he's right here with these guys too. On the high side, you see him way high, and that's what he was doing in trucks as well. He's running that high side like that.
It looks like he's getting by Ben Tracy right now. He's going to make his sights on Jeff Chandler next. Richie's still kind of hanging in there. I think some of this bobbling with some of these back markers over here. I shouldn't say back markers, but that's where I'd be. But he was able to kind of at least hold his spot there for a little while.
But they're kind of mid pack. They're 11th on back right here. So kind of, and they may have been higher had it not been for the amount of racing that's going on here. As you see, TJ Bartel and Jeff Chandler kind of break apart from these guys up here or back here. You got the 37 Dublé, the 47 of Hedrick, a couple Boomerang cars in this group as well. And shout out to one of the Boomerang cars up in 6th right now, Joshua Johnson, going the right direction, up 6 spots from his starting spot. He's currently cracked the top 10 riding in 6th, and looks like they've kind of tuned that car to his liking.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of his lap times too. He's running very comparable laps, if not even slightly quicker than some of these leaders up in front of him. So yeah, he's definitely in the right direction.
Everything kind of spaced out for the top 5. Jonathan McCon in 5th, Nathan Biggert right in front of him in 4th. You got Danny LaFleur. Daniel Simmons moves up to 2nd, so he's been kind of moving his way towards the front. Did get by Danny LaFleur. Nicholas Moreau continuing to lead and pretty much picking up where he left off last week.
Yeah, but he hasn't really drove away from anybody. I mean, it's been the second gap. He's kind of held that second gap, since he took the lead. So he's definitely not driving away from everybody. So we'll see what happens. We got a stage coming in another few laps, and we get to re-rack them all again.
Yeah, through 3 and 4 they are. They have about 4 coming to the line. It's going to be 3 laps to the stage break. So these guys getting close to the end. Some trying to hang on. Some of them trying to get all they can get before the stage. You see a lot of guys starting to move to the top. I'm jumping back here to the 13th, 14th, 15th in that area. You've seen a lot of the guys migrate to the top of the track now. And I don't know if it's because it's faster or if it's because where their car can handle. You're starting to see a lot more guys run that top line.
I think some of these guys from one way, they're loose. And, if you get too low on that track, it just makes the car even more of a handful. And just watching TJ Bartel just getting by Richie Coy there for 11th place, and I don't think he's going to get that stage point getting up the lane, but you never know.
Yeah, TJ's picked up 3 spots since the start of the race, so a minor gain, but kind of running where he started. I'll tell you, the biggest loser right now actually has been Tracy in 18th. Ben Tracy running in 18th, down 12 spots from his starting spot. I know he had that issue with Jeff Chandler, and we saw him get the wall a couple times, and I'm sure that car is not to his liking right now.
Yeah, well, even a slight bit of damage on the car, you don't know what it's going to do. So, yeah, he's waiting for that stage as well, get that thing fixed up. And I can see a lot of guys ready to make some changes. Are they going to make the rate changes, or are they going to be enough is the big question.
Yeah, everybody looks like they're just kind of hanging on now. We've got 2 laps to go. Coming through 3 and 4, it's going to get the white. Well, we won't get the white flag.
I'm watching.
He'll get the signal of 1 to go.
The 20 of Bartel and the 8 of Lane Allen, and it looks like Bartel's going to get him.
He did get him. So he did catch Allen. So I tell you what, TJ looks like he's hooked up here late in the run. That's one thing we're going to have to watch when we get the stage break.
Oh yeah. Well, like I say, there's a whole bunch of tire misers out here, and he's definitely one of them. And now that he's going to have a little bit of track position, let's see what he goes. And it was green, So I kind of have a feeling we are going to be green for the rest of this race.
So there you go. Nicholas Moreau crosses the line to get the stage win. Daniel Simmons in second. Denny LaFleur in third. Nathan Biggert crosses the line in fourth. And Joshua Johnson will take fifth in the stage. I'm sorry, Jonathan Bacon. Johnson will be sixth. James Wallace seventh. Jamie Knopf eighth. Matthew Bacon ninth. And TJ Bartell did manage to get that 10th and final point for the stage caution.
Well, we definitely have a strong team. A couple strong teams up in that top 10. Boomerang's looking really good tonight. Monroe's team's looking good. I don't know what their team name is.
Yeah, looking at Moreau Motorsports, looking at this, guys, you got Moreau Motorsports in first, third, and ninth. You got Boomerang in sixth and seventh. And you got Jamie Knopf and Daniel Simmons, who are pseudo teammates on different teams, though, but they're running second and eighth. So a lot of team things going on there. You got Nathan Biggert sprinkled in there as well. And then TJ Bartell with Wayne Grassi Racing in 10th. So, yeah, you see some strong teams and some teams working together for sure. And then you got some of the independents kind of shining tonight.
Yeah, pretty good racing though overall. I mean, this first 40 laps in, and everybody's coming in. I assume everybody's going to be taking 4 and topping off, and we'll see who's going to stay a little longer for damage.
Yep. All right. So they're coming down. Everybody's coming down pit road. Everybody wants to take a swing at these things. Some do have some damage to take care of, and I'm going to see if I can scroll back up here and see if I can find the issue with Jeff Chandler so we can look at that again here while they're under caution.
Yeah, otherwise we got everybody getting 4 tires going through the pit stops. We do look like we got a bit of a change up though in our top 5.
So Daniel Simmons beat, and Nathan Biggert and Denny LaFleur beat Nicholas off pit road.
Yeah, Nicholas must have had a bad stop or something. It didn't look bad, but definitely not as quick as the other guys. And there could be some, you don't need to top it off completely with gas. You could, drop one click on it, and you're going to eventually have to pit or even make 2 more pits. Not exactly even sure what the fuel mileage is.
Yeah, I'm not really sure myself. We did not ask, so we're unprepared.
Let me see if I can figure that out real fast.
Well, while you do that, we're going to see if we can go back and look at this incident with Denny LaFleur and Jeff Chandler here in turn 2. It just looks like Denny LaFleur just pushed up into Chandler a little bit there. See if we can look at it again.
Yeah, from what I remembered, it didn't look very egregious. Just racing for that position.
It looks like they got connected on the entry of the corner. It looks like Jeff came in a little shallow, but Danny wanted to sweep out, and
didn't even look like there was full contact before the spin.
Let's see it one more time here into turn 1. Jeff just shallow in a little bit. Denny makes contact, shoots up the track, and the 35 does get some pretty heavy wall contact, missing Jeff Chandler, but he did miss him, did a good job. And then, of course, Jeff's just off the pace here at this point down the backstretch, just bleeding positions, and now just focused on getting to the stage, which is where we are now. So he should have got his car fixed up, back in 19th spot right now. So he should have got his car fixed up a good bit.
I think we're going to have lights on the pace car this lap, and starting to get doubled up. We got Daniel Simmons, Nate Biggert on the front row, Danny LaFleur, Nicholas Monroe, 3 and 4, Joshua Johnson, and Jamie Knopf, who had a great pit stop. He gained about 3 spots on that stop.
Yeah, he's continuing to move forward, and that's one thing we were going to watch with him is coming from the back. How do you make those spots up? Well, he did a lot of it on the track and did some of it in the pits as well. So he's now in 6th spot and within striking distance now of racing for this lead. So great job by him. Just looking down to see who had a longer pit stop. Everybody seemed to pretty much hold.
Ben was in there for a while. He's marked at 23rd right now.
Right.
So,
but we know he was probably fixing damage.
Yeah. Jeff Chandler's back there in 19th right now. He probably stayed, get his damage fixed as well. I'm just looking too of any good movers. Sherwood Williford bumped up to 13th on that pit stop, and but Jamie had to be the winner on that pit cycle.
Yeah, he definitely put himself in position. Although the big winner is going to be the guy leading the 06 of Daniel Simmons, moves up to P1. He's going to bring him down to the start-finish line for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Mach-1 Performance Cup Series here at Chicagoland Speedway, here on Full Throttle TV. The pace car's off. They're in the restart zone, waiting for the green flag. Green flag's out, and we're back underway here at Chicagoland.
Just kind of watching Nick now. I want to see what kind of magic he can bring back if he get that lead spot back. I mean, we were talking about pit stops. He did lose a little bit, and we'll see if he can get it back. But yeah, we got Daniel and Nate staying 1-2 that they singled out.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed in that last run, we didn't have anybody that was just magically fast. You know what I mean? Like you said, Nicholas was not able to just pull out and completely pull away from the field. He was still there. Danny LaFleur was still there. Daniel Simmons finally passed for second, so he was kind of coming. So it should be a lot of fun to see who kind of outshines everybody else, because they seem pretty even at this point.
Yeah, and according to, I kind of find out Fuel Run, the gauge said 108 laps. Now that sounds kind of crazy to me, but I'm guessing they at least have about 60 in the tank. And the end of that run, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's gonna put some hair on the chest of some of these guys, and yeah, we'll see what it'll do. I think we're gonna stay green though, to be honest.
It looked clean and green early on. Everybody, except for that one issue with the 99 and the Jeff Chandler machine 31. Other than that, there really wasn't any issues other than people just simply hitting the wall on the high side. Other than that, yeah, it looked pretty clean out there. Of course, things could change now because they know they're racing to the end at this point, so you could see it ramp up.
Oh yeah, for sure. But there is still that tire wear, and we don't 100% know what the fuel run is, but I would imagine they at least have to come in once more. Well, for sure they're going to have to come in once, but twice. I mean, do you think there might be some guy running that two-stop strategy towards the end of this?
Well, you got to think too that some of these guys made changes, probably made some drastic changes to the car under the pit stop, because some of these guys were not happy with their car. You saw you saw Richie Coy go backwards. I'm sure they took some big swings on that car, and now there's more question marks than there were when they started the race. So, okay, what are these changes going to do to my car? Is it going to make it better? Is it going to make it worse? And that also could cause some cautions and cause some issues for these guys.
Yep. And as I'm watching, Nicholas Moreau, he's up to second now, got by Nathan Biggert. Nathan Biggert's now under attack from Danny LaFleur. So Nate's going back, Nick's going up.
Well, Nathan's one of those tire misers who's talking about, so probably taking care of those tires at this point, letting them go and letting them go play. The problem with that is we saw Nicholas Moreau the last 2 weeks take that advantage and hold that advantage to the end of the race. So I don't know if you want to be giving him anything at this point.
And I mean, at the speeds they're going and able to hold the leads like they are, and just even to hold these upper 5 positions, how much tire are they saving? Are they really, and it just they've found that perfect balance of we can keep the car going forward and fast, but still save enough tire to still have it at the end. And hats off to those guys. I have yet to master that.
Alan Crowell, I don't know what he did on his pit stop, but he's up to 10th spot, up 14 positions from his starting position. He had some issues early on. I don't know if he stayed it out or if he took 2 tires or no tires on his pit stop, but he's now in the top 10 and just dropped to 11th, but still up there in the mix right now.
I'm going to have to go back and look, see exactly what happened to him. Make sure, maybe he missed pit road or something. I don't know. Or didn't even go in. I don't know.
Riding behind, there's a 3-wide battle up front in front of him with Kyle Milliken just easing by, and the 57 easing by as well. You had Richie Coy, Matthew Vacan, and Colby Meese all 3-wide there. Now you got this 57 Joshua Johnson giving the 19 a push as we ride on board.
Yeah, I'm watching Allen right now, and he took 4, and he just drove his way through the field. There's a guy who's probably not saving tires, but it's all right.
Who is that?
Alan Crow, 54.
Well, he's actually dropping back now, so I'm not sure. Maybe he did take 2 or no tires on that stop, but hey, it's worth a shot, man. You get yourself some track position. If things aren't going your way in the back, do something different. I'm always a proponent of trying something different. If what you've got going is not working, do something different.
Well, he did take 4. I did actually see that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, he did have a pretty good stop, I guess. But yeah, for him to work up to 10th, he muscled his way through there, and I think he's paying for it a little bit now. Look, he's nice at 60.
Well, kudos to his team, though, for a great pit stop, for sure. We're on board the Victory Fuel machine. Richie Coy trying to fight his way back towards the top. You got Colby Meese in front of him, TJ Bartell on the bottom. And we saw TJ, how strong he was on the long run. He got himself some track position as well here on the pit stops, up to 8th spot right now. And so with that track position, plus being able to make moves in the late stages of the race, he could put himself in position to make a run towards the end.
Yeah, it's just, again, you got to move forward, but at the same time, try to save a little bit. And I'm watching Colby Meese. He's getting ready to pass Jamie Knopp for 5th right now. He's on the outside working it.
He is, and was able to make that work on the outside.
Almost cleared him, yeah. Almost there.
But you got to be concerned, though, about, you see him sideways right there in the turns 1 and 2. You got to be a little concerned about using those tires up too much, though, because we see that a lot with these guys charge hard early on. And to be honest with you, Jamie Knopf himself has admitted that he's charged up there before and burned his tires up just to put a little pressure on the guys up front. And, sometimes it works out.
Yeah, it's a fine balance that, you want to go because you feel like you got the car to go, but, it's like eating spicy food. And the next day, you kind of regret it.
Well, you got to pay the piper sometimes, right?
That's true. But yeah, as I'm looking at Colby Meese, he's going after Jamie Knopp. It looks like he's almost cleared.
And I'm not sure they meant piper as in plumber, but that also sometimes happens.
Yep, we got Colby to 5th. That'd be the number 9.
Number 9, Colby Meese. Up to 3rd. Having a good spot. Up to 5th spot tonight. Up 3 positions from his starting spot. Good to see him having a good run. He's just got to get it to the finish and get the finish he deserves. That's got to be the goal tonight, is having just a solid finish.
Well, and I'm kind of guilty of, doing that too. But, even if you could just get up to that top 5 position and just even stay there for a lap or 2, at least you, it's a pat on the back for yourself, just, hey, I was able to get up there and it worked out for me. But yeah, let's see if he can hold it there. It'd be great to see him get a top 10 out of this. He is looking pretty strong, so we'll see what happens.
Just looking through the field here, a lot of great racing going on all the way through the field. I'm sure we're missing some of it, unfortunately. You got Sherwood Billiford under Alan Crowell on the for the 15th position.
Well, I'm watching Jeff Chandler not going through the field. TJ was kind of buzzing up there, and TJ goes on the inside. Couldn't quite make a pass, lost a couple of spots, but I'm looking at it. Jeff got a little loose there, but man, he's making some moves on the outside and starting to get some cars.
We just jumped on board when we saw that happen, and these guys are about in that window where the cars started going away, so we'll see if Jeff can nurse his car and make it work. Made the right changes under the pit conditions, and hopefully got his car a little bit better. And we'll see if he gets up to the 9 out of the floor. I'm not so sure that either one of those guys are happy with each other at this point.
Yeah, very true. I mean, the Fury guys, you hope that they got their car set up. They were pretty quick on the early run, but then after about, 30 laps or so, things started to go south for them.
I don't think it was 30. It was like 20 laps. They fell off a cliff, and you see the 19 still unable to go anywhere going backwards, so he's in 10th spot. I'm sure he's not going to be excited about where he's running right now, but I tell you, the guys have got it worked out up front. is Moreau Motorsports 1 and 2. Nicholas Moreau, Danny LaFleur, but Nathan Biggert, hot on their trails in third, was able to get back around Daniel Simmons and start charging towards the front now, Nathan.
Yeah, nobody's walked away from each other. They're under a half a second the top four right now, and yeah, they're actually putting out a pretty good show there. Yep. But it's still early as far as, let's see, we're only about 20 laps after the stage right now, so yeah, they're 20 laps in.
First, second, and third kind of pulled away from fourth and fifth here. That fourth and fifth spot, Daniel Simmons has it. Kobe Meese in the 9 wants it. And they're going to stay single file and fall back to the 48 of Knopf, who now joins the battle, as long as Jeff Chandler and a whole group of guys now battling for fourth.
Yeah, it's Colby's still hanging in there, though, which is pretty surprising. But hey, he's looking good out there. Jeff's going, and I wonder if Jeff's going to still have it after another 5-10 laps here.
One of the things I saw out of the 9 of Meese is a little bit of defensive driving. Seems like when he gets guys in his mirror, he starts pulling down to the middle of the track on the straightaways. I'm starting to see him ease toward the inside. You can tell he's worried about getting past her at this point. The 48 looks low, but can't do anything there. We'll pull back to behind him and try that again.
Yep. And I'm watching Matthew Ducon getting underneath Richie Coy right now. Richie's losing a spot. Matthew's gaining one.
TJ Martell still hanging strong in front of them in ninth. He's in the Vacon sandwich. You got Jonathan Vacon in front of him, Matthew Vacon behind him. You see TJ way up the track. He's one of the first guys that goes way up the track to the top of the track.
I think there's a way to save tires up there. Maybe you're not turning the wheel as much. Just kind of let the thing coast a little bit more. But yeah, he's an outside guy too. I know that from previous experiences with him. He runs the outside groove a lot too. He likes it up there.
I'll never forget one race with him at Texas, and he was one of the first guys to go to the third lane at the old Texas track in 3 and 4. And really be able to roll the top and really make up some time making it work on the outside. He was one of the first guys to try that. And you saw some other guys, myself included, started moving up there trying to make that work. So he's always one of those guys that finds that lane pretty early and to make the time doing so. And you may be right about saving tires. I've always burned my right rear off, though, trying to run those outside lanes, just trying to keep the speed up.
Yeah, I'm watching him too. He's right up against that wall. But that's, hey, if it's quick for him and if he can run there, I'd run into the wall, but he's running right up on it. So, it works for him.
We're right on board here with TJ for a lap or two. Yeah, he's right on that seam before the very top of the track. He's taking care of his car. You don't want to get too close and get in the wall. It's kind of like Homestead. You can use that high line, but the higher you go, the better it is, but also the more riskier it is. And he is right up there through 3 and 4, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting ready to make a move here on Colby Mace. Now, unfortunately, Colby fell back. He's going, looks like he's going to be scored at 9th after TJ gets by him. And, kind of burned up his stuff, kind of like we assumed he would. But, hey, man, he did a pretty good job getting up there, and he's still looking pretty sharp out there. I don't know if he's got any tire left, though.
Yeah, Kobe using it up to get up there and just unable to hang up there right now. As you see him starting to emulate TJ Bartell now and run high. It's one of my criticisms with Kobe, and I've raced with Kobe before, is that he kind of drives more out of his mirror than he does his windshield. There's a reason the windshield's bigger than the mirror, but he seems to kind of focus on what's going on behind him too much and worry about getting past so much that he misses his lane, misses his line, and it costs himself, some positions doing so. But, everybody just kind of has to find their own way and do what they need to do. But
I'm looking at the Fury driver, Jeff Chandler, up in 5th right now. He's on a mission, and it's pretty good after a 30-lap run here. So, or almost at a 30-lap run. So, he probably found what he needed in that car and got it hooked up. He's looking pretty good. As I say that, whoa, he's in the grass.
Ooh, who is in the grass?
Jeff Chandler.
Chandler. Loose
Broadcaster
again?
curse.
Jeez.
He was running in fifth, looking pretty strong, got a little loose, and went in the grass. He didn't look like he damaged it.
You know, we talked about his teammate Coy being so loose. This must be a shared trait between those two cars. We see Jeff coming off turn 2. Just steps out on him. He has it saved, and then it cuts again straight through the grass rather than turn up into the wall. I'm sure he preferred to go to the grass, but
well, it was a good save at least. At least he didn't hit anything, and
saved the car to fight another day.
Fell back quite a bit, which is unfortunate because he was in a strong fifth position going forward too. Hopefully, it didn't hurt the tires too much. I don't think driving in the grass will kill him, but you never know.
Looking up front, Jamie Knopf has cracked the top 5, now in 4th spot. Just got around Nathan Biggert, so put Jamie Knopf on the charge from the back to the front, up 18 spots into 4th spot.
Yeah, Nathan's been falling back a little bit, so I don't know what kind of car he's got, unless he's just kind of laying low. I can't imagine these guys are going to be pitting for another 25 laps or so. So we'll see what happens.
Nathan just had a little wiggle off turn 4. Looks like he's struggling with his car as well. As the 97 Vacon's going to go to the outside. Jonathan Vacon up to 5th spot around the outside of Nathan Biggert. Got to give a shout out to some of the guys in the chat as well. Doyle Lawrence, as always, following us on YouTube. Doyle says hi to the crew. Just survived Hurricane Beryl down there in Texas. So glad to see that you're doing well and enjoying your icy cold beverage there, watching us, cheering us on. So cheering on Jeff Chandler as always. Good to see him. Pepto Joe Flanagan out there cheering on Lane. Says go Lane, win one for the old guys. Unfortunately, Lane's now in 15th spot, but still in the race. Still a long way to go. Good to see Joe out there. And if you guys are watching us, make sure to drop us a comment. We'll check it out and we'll give you a shout out. And hope you're enjoying the race. It's been quite entertaining so far. As you see, Richie Coy still dropping 16th spot right now, Tony.
Yeah, he just got passed by Lane and Kyle Milliken. Kyle's been actually moving up himself, so I don't know if I should put Kyle in the tire mising category, but he's looking pretty good tonight. Ben Tracy's getting ready to go after Coy now, and so he's got a slow recovery himself.
Yeah, Ben around Coy. You got Sherwood Williford back here as well. Jeff Chandler again falling from top 5. He's down in 12th and not making much ground. But hey, Daniel Simmons in 3rd. Actually, Daniel Simmons now in 2nd, gets around Danny LaFleur, so he's going to be running 2nd here, trying to run down Nicholas Moreau, who's got a 0.6 of a second lead on him right now.
And that's still not as much as we've seen. So, I mean, yeah, there's a potential for Nicholas to not get a 3 in a row tonight. Too, I'm looking at the Boomerang guys. They kind of fell back a little bit, and we're kind of towards the later end of the run here. So I don't know if they got anything left in the tank to start moving their way forward. Well, Colby looked like he stabilized at 9th. So I was kind of looking through the field. Yeah, there's not a huge lot of shakeup, but a little bit.
I was going to say, Colby, he fell behind TJ. He was being pressured by TJ. He fell behind him, but that's kind of where the bleeding is kind of stopped. You do have the Boomerang cars, the 67 and 57 behind him, and then Jeff Chandler. But all these guys kind of run the same speed at this point. And interestingly enough, you see Colby move up the track, and now TJ on the bottom of the track. So they've kind of flip-flopped where they have been running.
Yeah. And it's always weird how that works out. And I'm looking at Jeff Chandler. He's got his legs back, and he's just kind of clawing his way back up there. He's definitely got a little bit faster car than the Boomerang guys and even Colby. It just he just lost all that track position, unfortunately, and he'll get back up there.
Yeah, now they're stacking the Boomerang cars, so stacking up behind the 9 of Meese, trying to find their way around. You got James Wallace looking to the inside right now.
That outside is just strong, especially too on these late tire runs. Just you can't get that thing to bite down low like that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we do have another pit stop coming up, so that could really shake things up as well when these guys decide to pit, what they do in the pit stop, how quick they can get in and out. I mean, you can gain and lose a lot of positions on pit road, so this is gonna kind of determine things too. Again, with TJ Bartell up in 8th and still hanging in that top 10, it wouldn't surprise me to see him move forward here towards the end of the race, just because we've seen how strong his car is in the late run, although he's kind of hanging tough right now. You see Colby Meese in the wall there.
Yeah, got a little slate in the wall, but he was able to get the boomerang guys around him, and now Jeff Chandler's on his inside. Looks like, unfortunately, Colby just lost 3 spots during that. But
that is the risk versus reward I was talking about. You can make time up there for sure, and it can be faster at times. And the closer you get, it seems like, oh, that was close between Jeff and Colby. Good job, both those guys, for hanging on.
Yeah.
But you can gain a lot of time up there. But if you overstep it, and you get in that wall, then you're paying the price too. So it's risk versus reward. Here comes Lane Allen to join the party as well. These guys, man. Lane's one of those guys kind of the same safe tires too, so he may be able to kind of get a few positions here before pit stops.
Well, yeah. Well, I can't imagine them pitting for maybe another 20 laps. I mean, if you were going to do a 2-tire strategy, you'd either have been in now or you're going in soon. But otherwise, I think a lot of the fields will probably be coming in anywhere from lap 100 to 110. That'll kind of split that this final stage here. And it looks like they're going to have enough gas to get there. So,
yeah, that's true. So about 60 laps is kind of what we estimated. So, yeah, I'll get them halfway, half and half.
Yep, we're just separating some of the tire savers from the non-tire savers. And I'm looking at Nicholas Monroe and Daniel Simmons. Daniel is worked since the last time we talked on it. Daniel Simmons has got about a 10th quicker on him, so he is making a little bit better time, but he's probably gaining a little bit, losing a little bit every lap.
Yeah, they're spaced out pretty good up front. You got Daniel Simmons, who is about 5 to 6 tenths behind the leader, and you got Jamie Chandler. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Jamie Knopf. I don't know who Jamie Chandler is, but Jamie Knopf about 7 tenths back behind Daniel Simmons. So they're kind of spaced out 1, 2, 3.
From 22nd to 3rd right now, Jamie is doing a hell of a job in the number 48. So,
I expected no less. I saw when he qualified back there, I figured he had an issue in qualifying because he's usually fast at these tracks. And man, he's it's one thing to know you got the speed and get up there. It's another thing to actually do it and cut through traffic and be able to make your way to the front. So another great drive for the 48.
Looks like we got Richie Coy on pit road right now, so it looks like he's going to try the 2-stopper tonight.
I talked to Richie after last week's race. He had an issue, and he finally said he just pitted because he couldn't take it anymore. And I wonder if that's the case here too, or if this is he misses pit stall as well. What? Ooh. Oh man, he's having all kind of issues here.
Well, I'm looking at lap times too, and Jamie Knopf, number 48. He is the quickest on the track right now, and he is slowly catching them. Daniel's catching Nicholas, but Jamie's catching Nicholas and Daniel.
Catch this. We got the top 3. 3rd place, 32:01. 2nd place, 32:02. 3rd place, first place, 32:03. That's how close it is, their last lap. So they may be catching a little bit. They may squeeze up a little bit, but, man, they're right on top of their lap times.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of fun and interesting to see how this is going to turn out because, like I say, we probably got about another 10 laps before we start seeing pit stops, and it's going to be a good shakeup, this top 3. I don't see any cautions, though.
Yeah, it hadn't been, and we saw the battle back here getting pretty hot and heavy here. If they're going to have a caution, it's probably going to come from this group right here because 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all these guys, 12th and 13th there as well. They've been very close to each other. You got TJ Bartell, James Wallace, Joshua Johnson, Lane Allen, Colby Meese all in this group. Jeff Chandler back there behind them. And you see them get really close there off the corner.
Yeah, that's probably our most action we got as far as a grouping goes. I mean, you got almost 6 cars in this mix right now, and all fighting for position. A couple of teammates involved too, and who's got the tire? And who's got the position?
I can tell you I was wrong. It looks like TJ Bartel's going backwards now. I really thought he would be going forwards, but he's dropped back behind these three guys and about to lose another spot to Kobe Meese. So I don't know.
Yeah. And then you look at Lane. Lane's starting to drive forward, like we kind of were saying. He's been saving them tires a little bit, and now he's got some legs.
Yeah, so Lane up in the top 10, 10th spot right now. Right on the back bumper, the 57 of Johnson, and then Wallace in front of him. So you're right. He's marched towards the front.
Is it too late in the run, though? I mean, figure you're going to be pitting in about another 10, maybe 15 laps.
Yeah, but you're going to have to do this all over again. I don't know how much time he lost on the early part of the run to make that speed on the late part. That's always kind of the balancing act as well. Is how much time are you giving up early in the run to run fast at the end of the run, and is it worth it? The most frustrating thing I've ever experienced is to run easy at the beginning of the run and give up time, only to barely be able to make up the time you gave up at the end of the run. And it really kind of just balances out, and there's no gain. He's like, I could have just ran hard and done the same thing.
Right, and then you look at the other end of the spectrum. I'm talking with TJ Bartel, for example. He started up in 7th, I believe, when the green flag flew. He stayed up there front, and now he's just dropping back. So there is that fine balance of when do you go, when do you save tires, how much do you save. It's just, and I'm watching Boomerang guys now too. Joshua Johnson's getting under his teammate James Wallace. They've been running 2 wide here. Lane Allen is about ready to make it 3 wide.
Oh,
he wants to go. Oh.
We just jumped on board with Lane Allen to see that coming off the corner. The 57 gets really loose, and Lane able to squeeze in there. Now Lane's going to look to the inside of James Wallace. Off turn 4. Man, he's fighting. These guys are fighting it off the corner, trying to keep their momentum up. Here comes the 57 of Johnson to regain it. We're going to ride on board with the 57. He's going to pull up here trying to help his teammate. And he will. He gets that great run off the top side, and Lane Allen's going to fall back behind these guys.
Lane
hard.
Lane looked like he just got a little bit of loose staying underneath there, and he does got the car though right now. I think he does have the speed. He just needs to clear him.
It's so hard to make that bottom work. Make a pass on the bottom when your car's loose like that. You try to keep the power down. You want to keep it straight. Keep your momentum going forward. But it's just the tires just don't have the grip in them.
I went back to, not to be picking on TJ, but he lost that battle with Jeff Chandler. TJ's sitting in 13th right now. Jeff in 12th. Colby Mike's right in front of him, and those three were in the 6-pack, and now it's kind of a 3-pack and a 3-pack.
Just hopping on board with these guys, battling for 8th, 9th, and 10th here. Joshua Johnson able to get that position back, so he's just not able to get by his teammate James Wallace. But honestly, Johnson looks like he may have the faster car at this point. Just cannot get by his teammate here.
Well, he did. He was cleared, but he got tight, and it just when you try to make that pass low, it's like you almost get a little too tight or you get a little too loose, and you just can't make that. You lose all that track position you try to gain.
The 54 Kroll in pit lane was running towards the back there. He's decided to make his stop now.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody else pit with the exception of Coy as far as an early stop. And I'm assuming now Coy's going to have to do another stop because I doubt he'll have enough gas to get the distance.
Yeah, you may be right. I'm not really sure what the fuel window is. You may be right. But again, like I said last week, he did the same thing. Pitted early, just couldn't stand the way the car is handling. As you see, the 57 of Joshua Johnson finally able to get around James Wallace, but he just couldn't stand the way the car was handling and wanted to go ahead and pit and get fresh tires on it.
Yep, that maybe too. You need to make 1 or 2 changes, and unfortunately, that's what you got to do. You got to be comfortable out there.
Hey, don't
and
look
I'm watching the race for the lead.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Daniel Simmons has caught the 77 Moreau. We have a race for the lead finally as Daniel starts to inch in on Moreau in the 77.
Yeah, Daniel was on his bumper that last lap, and I thought he was going to make a pass and get clear. But the two of them kind of made a breakout from Jamie Knopp. I really thought Knopp would have been on the bumper of these two guys. But we got a 1-2 battle going right now.
Yeah,
pit stop's coming.
Jamie's about a second and a half back from these guys, so he's got a little time to make up, but he did get by the 99 LaFleur, who falls to fourth. Nathan Biggert running fifth. You got the two Vacons, again, a strong showing for Moreau Motorsports with Jonathan and Matthew Vacon running sixth and seventh. All these guys in the top 10.
Everybody's doing a really good job. I mean, being respectful too, racing clean. And for the most part, everybody's pretty much spaced out, but it's good racing.
Kyle Milliken's made his pit stop in the 42, so he's back out and back underway.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm assuming, from now and probably till lap 110, we should see probably most of the field, if not all the field, be in and out for their pit stops. They are coming.
Here comes Colby Meese to pit road. So now we're starting to see some guys trickle into pit road here.
Yeah, and I'm going to assume, too, that everybody's taking their 4 like they normally would, and full tank of gas, and get in, 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, get your tires, get out, make it clean. Colby got a good pit stop in and out.
Right on board the 06 and Daniel Simmons here in second spot. Now moves to the high side, trying to use the high lane to get some momentum down the straightaway to catch leader Nicholas Moreau, who's led the most laps so far tonight. Been out front for quite a few laps tonight. So, again, picking up where he left off last week. Going for 3 in a row here in the FTSR Mach-1 Performance Cup Series.
Yeah, Nicholas is, a couple of weeks ago we were talking about, how he wasn't really happy with the performance of him and his team, and looking to try to make something happen. And, he got the first win, second win, and here he is, third race in a row now, kind of showing his strength, and yeah, he's looking really sporty. Well, I don't know if he was expecting Daniel to be so close to him, but that's why we're running this track opposed to the street course too. It does kind of mix it up as far as setups go, like we talked about earlier.
He said it's all about practice. If he's got time to practice, he can put something together and be competitive. Just hadn't had the time recently, but I hadn't had the time before, but recently he's gotten some of his time back, and it's really showing on track as these guys are. And there you go, Nathan Biggert, one of the first guys to pit last week, is on pit road first tonight as well as far as the front runners. He's going to duck down pit road. So the 0-1 in the pits. And all these guys are going to know that, Jeff Chandler in the pits as well. Ben Tracy coming to the pits. Oh, and he does get it slowed down this time. I know he had some issues in the truck race.
Yes, I remember seeing that, yes.
But he was able to hang on to it. Sherwood Williford in the pits as well. Now here come the leaders. The 77, the 06, the 48, the 99, all pitting. The 26 pitting as well.
All right, everybody's going at the same time. So I guess we don't have to talk about, different tire strategy with at least these leaders.
I think the 26 had an issue getting to pit road. I'm going to try to pull that up.
Got Jeff Chandler on exit now. Ben Tracy's on exit. Sherwood Williford's on exit. Everybody looking good. We got 3 stalls in and 3 stalls out, which is kind of a rule. NASCAR originally actually has a 2 stall in, 2 stall out rule. Yeah, everybody looks good. And Nicholas Monroe, again, didn't have a great stop. Jamie Knopp got out front, so did Daniel Simmons.
We're watching the 26 Moreau's, Bacon is going to be coming to pit road this time. Let's see. It looked like he popped up and had some issues getting to pit road. Let's see what kind of issue he has. Coming around. Ooh, he almost spins, actually. But no big issues. So I don't really know what it popped up for. But now James Torrey out front in the 6. Number Ford. Number 6 Ford. The number Ford. Leading the pack here. He's yet to pit, but he's going to stay out there and hope for who knows what to happen. TJ Bartell in the pits. The 37 of Brian Dublé exiting the pits. all these guys taking their pit stops now. You can see what pitting early has done. You got Kyle Milliken currently running 6th, will be 5th when James Torrey pits. So that early pit stop has really propelled him up towards the front of the field.
Yep, and once James does come in, and I know he's going to be coming in at some point, we got Daniel Simmons should be taking over the lead, and he's got a great lead right now, about 0.6 of a second, or actually almost 2 seconds.
Oh, we got a caution. We got a caution. Richie Coy involved. Richie Coy destroyed. The front of that car is destroyed.
Yeah, I'm going back and watching.
Let's see if we can see what happened here. Coming through the corner. Oh, Colby Meese involved.
Didn't look like there was any contact, unless there was just some net air. But yeah, he got pretty loose, and yeah, wrecked the 2 of those guys.
Trying to get a better.
And James Torrey's got to be loving this right now. He is. He's the leader.
I'm trying to get. Sorry, guys. I know you're watching this over and over. I'm trying to get on board with Colby to see what happened. Let's just back it up here. Going into the corner, Colby goes to the outside. Oh, Richie got loose. Richie got loose in front of Colby. That's what happened. He got loose, and Colby could not check up in time, and that was that. Man, what a wreck.
Yeah, and at that point, too, I mean, Richie probably was on older tires anyway, so definitely Colby was a little quicker, but wow.
He absolutely was, and that's going to catch some of these guys a lap down. TJ Bartel a lap down, Brian Dublé, Ben Tracy, Sherwood Williford, all these guys being a lap down at this point. Now we will have a free pass, and we'll see who that is or if somebody's already gotten that.
Yeah, and you wonder too, are some of these guys lap down, will they get the waiver on? Will some of the leaders now actually come in and get the cars again?
So the way it lines up, the leader is the 6, and then the 20 was lined up behind him. So the 20 will get the wave around along with, let's see, let me tell you guys this right. We got the 20 who's going to get the wave around. Where is the 67? He's a lap. Oh, something happened to James Wallace. He's a lap down as well. So the 67 will get a wave around. He's 2 laps down, actually. And then Brian Dublé, Sherwood Williford, Dave Nestor will all get a wave around. So actually everybody's going to wave around in front of who will be the leader now, Daniel Simmons. So that'll take that out of the equation.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what happened to James Wallace. I wonder if maybe he had a speeding penalty.
He's saying these guys crashed. I'm just checking. Oh, because they slowed down for the pace car. All right, we'll go back live. Go back live here. Daniel Simmons is your leader. Jamie Knopf in 2nd. Nicholas Moreau 3rd. Danny LaFleur 4th. Jonathan Vacon is in 5th. 6th is going to be Nathan Biggert. 7th, Joshua Johnson. 8th is Matthew Vacon. 9th, Lane Allen. And right at your top 10 right now is Jeff Chandler. But man, major implications from a point standpoint too for the 19 of Coy. It's going to be a tough points night. Looks like he's going to finish in 23rd spot here tonight.
Yeah, that's rough for Richie. I know, especially too with last week just coming in. Just they haven't found what they wanted out of this car yet, and who knows? Maybe we'll see him in the broadcast booth soon.
Nathan Biggert, yeah, we might can talk to him. Nathan Biggert comes home in. He's currently the points leader. Comes into tonight. The points leader, 37 points over Nicholas Moreau, and only 38 points over Richie Coy. But Richie's going to lose a ton of ground tonight, given if nothing happens to the 77 and the 01.
Yeah, they've both been looking pretty strong. Nathan's kind of, sticking around the top 5, top 10 area, whereas Nicholas, he's starting third again. I mean, he started fourth on the last restart we had, and he was able to work up to first. Let's see if Daniel and Jamie Knopf's got anything for him now.
Two teammates on the front row. Pace cars off. We're back to green here at Chicagoland. Lap 114 of 167. Only about 53 laps to go.
Doesn't look like Nicholas is wasting any time. He clears Jamie pretty quick and just stays on Daniel's bumper. I know Daniel did not want to see that caution. He had a good 2-second lead over second place before the caution, but let's see what he's got.
Yeah, he really did. He had a great run, had a great pit stop, and got some distance between him and the 77. But now they're all bunched up. He's right on his back bumper. The 48 in third, the fourth place going to the 97 of Jonathan Bacon. And here he goes, side by side for second.
Yeah, none of these guys took tires either, so if anybody behind them did, there is a possibility for them to kind of drive up through the field a little bit. I don't know. I probably would have. I probably would have went in and did it anyway. I
mean, there was only maybe 6 laps of green there after their pit stop, so I'm not sure. I mean, I know every little bit helps, but I'm not sure it would be worth the risk, especially if you think there's going to be another caution. The top 4 is kind of broken away here again. 1, 2, 3, 4 on your screen, and then from 5th on back, look at this gaggle.
Yeah, they are bunched up, but I'm watching this lead pack right now. Things are getting spicy up here, especially early on in this run. Daniel's holding strong though out front, but we've got they're door to door.
We're three wide for 5th spot here, and now he's going to squeeze him up high. Danny LaFleur, Joshua Johnson. Give that position to Johnson. Now Kyle Milliken on the bottom trying to hang tough. And now you got all kind of contact back here. Somebody got the wall on the backstretch. We're talking about the curved backstretch. Well, there you go. That can happen pretty easily back there.
I'm watching, 12th position right now. We got 3 wide. We got TJ, James Wallace, and Alan Crowell. 3 wide there for a minute.
Yeah, these guys going hot and heavy, trying to get everything they can. In front of them, you got James Torrey, Wayne Grassi, Lane Allen, Jeff Chandler, all fighting pretty hard, trying to get as many spots as they can early on with these fresh tires.
Yeah, they're pretty hot and spicy right now. I'm kind of surprised I'm seeing a lot of the moves that they're making as it is, especially with the tire wear we already know.
Hot and spicy is fine. When they get hot and bothered, though, that's going to be a problem. Ooh, the 57 in the wall off turn 2. Just caught that in the wall off turn 2. Everybody had to check up behind them. You got the 31 of Chandler, the 99 LaFleur, Lane Allen all behind him now, trying to take advantage of that. The 47 really loose on the bottom there of Ryan Hedrick, who Ryan actually is a lap down.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was up there. I was like, wow, he's moving his way up, but he is a lap down right now. So he's kind of in there. He should be the next guy for a lucky dog if we do get one.
Kyle Milliken threading the needle down the backstretch, trying to get to the inside or outside of Matthew Vacon, and he does. Nathan Biggert right in front of him, and this is 4th, 5th, and 6th again. 5th, 6th, and 7th. The top 4 have kind of broken away. Jamie Knopf now leading. We missed that. Jamie Knopf and Nicholas Moreau 1, 2. Jonathan Vacon 3rd, and the 06 of Daniel Simmons has fallen to 4th.
Yeah, I'm curious to know because Daniel had the lead there. I'm going to have to go back and see what actually happened to Daniel because he lost 3 spots in one shot. It looked like. Yeah, back on lap 117, Daniel looked like he may have got a little tap in the rear end. Um, just kind of just bobble him up a little bit.
So much going on. Was trying to find any of this going into 3 and 4 here. The 06 still leading at this point. This guy's battling hard. That's a lot of great battling up front for position. But yeah, Jamie Knopf currently holding down the top spot. Nicholas Brun is 77 in second. Daniel Simmons third now as he gets back around this 97 of Vacon. And actually is right on the back bumper of the 77 Moreau.
I'm looking at the 42 of Kyle Milken right now. He's snuck his way into the top 5. And yeah, he's showing pretty good strength right now and just moving along.
He was one of the guys that pitted a few laps early and was able to use those new tires to get him some track position. You see how much you can hang on here. He's getting pressured by the 01 of Biggert. Jeff Chandler behind him, Danny LaFleur behind him. A lot of fast cars right here. He's going to have to hold off.
Yeah, but it's good to see him up there. I know he was, like I say, I wasn't expecting to see him up there at this point in the race. But yeah, he's still holding his own up there. He did just get by Nate not too long ago as well.
So this is the second pack pretty much. We got the first pack of 4 cars up front that have broken away. And in the second pack here, with the 44 Milken leading it, Biggert, Chandler, LaFleur, Vacon, Johnson, Grassi, and Allen all in this group.
And Daniel Simmons worked his way up to third right now, and he's kind of setting his sail. He looks like he's starting to catch Nick, but Jamie and Nick really have not moved at all. They're kind of just 2 tenths away from each other, just moving along. Daniel's like, I want that spot back, and he's after it right now.
Again, these guys just spaced out up front. 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of giving each other plenty of space. The battle for 5th on back, though, that's what's been fun to watch as Nathan Biggert finally gets around the 42 of Milken, who loses some time off turn 2, and that puts him 3 wide going into turn 3. There goes the Jeff Chandler machine, the 99 of LaFleur. Now on the inside is going to be Joshua Johnson ducking way low. Matthew Vacon on the inside. 3 wide going into turn 3, or 1.
Yeah, we've seen Josh Johnson make that apron work for him, and yeah, especially even after that little wall tap he had, it's working for him again. He's moving, and we know the Boomerang guys, they got a pretty good car, so pretty good set. So I definitely see a top 10 for him.
If he can just stay out of trouble, man, he's had some good runs, just hadn't been able to capitalize at the end of the races here. So he's just looking to try to make a run in the end. And you see behind him is 3 wide again with the 47 of Hedrick on the inside of the 8 of Lane Allen. Again, Hedrick a lap down, and TJ Bartell on the high side of that group. Now you see the 7 into 57 getting really close off turn 4.
We've just seen Jeff Chandler tap the wall a little bit. That allowed Daniel Fleur to get by him.
A lot going on right here in this group. A lot of fun to watch. But if you're in this group, man, I'm sure you're sweating bullets at this point.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. We still got about another 35 laps to go. So
you gotta get what you can while you're on the new tires, because it looks like it's really hard to pass once the tires go away.
Well, some guys seem like they had a little bit of speed left in them. So, and I'm looking at Nathan Biggert right now. He is just kind of holding steady right now. Kind of almost looks like he's just saving. He's not under pressure in front of him or behind him. And, it's a good time to just kind of relax and just save what you got.
Yeah, up front again, Jamie Knopf continued to lead, but 77 Nicholas Moreau right in his tire tracks. And you have Daniel Simmons and Jonathan Vacon who are riding behind these guys as well. Looks like Nicholas is not content to run second. He's not gonna sit back here too long, I don't think.
When you see it that close in front of you, I guess you'd probably try to do the same, right? But that 4 car, I mean, they got a good 3 seconds on the rest of the field right now. Those 4 cars breakaway and just singled out, like you were saying. And I don't know. I think the rubber's going to hit the road when we get to 10 to go and see who's got tire left.
Yeah, it's crazy to see these guys pull away like that. You said they got like a 3-second lead on the back. I don't know how they did that early on in the race there. It just seems like they kind of pulled away from everybody else. And usually you don't see that on these tracks, especially with the low horsepower package like they have on this next gen. A lot of drafting involved. These guys just kind of pulled away from everybody else.
Well, you almost wonder though too. You get that one group of cars that maybe go 3 wide on lap 2 after the green flag.
True.
And, not only does it kills that front row, it kills everybody behind them and allows those lead cars to get away. But
very true. Very true.
They're sitting pretty right now, the 4 of them.
You lose a lot of time running side by side trying to race each other, and that's exactly what happened, because we saw that group racing pretty hard back there for 4th on back. But, and I hate to say this because then I'll get blamed for it, but if there's a caution that comes out there, that just changes everything. I think these guys are going to take those new tires and try to run towards the front, especially some guys that are having some handling issues, like the 31 of Chandler, who just got loose off turn 2 yet again, and the 57 of Johnson, who had to slow down for him as well. Some of these guys are going to want those new tires. And you may see some guys decide to try to, I don't know if you would stay out at this point, though.
No, for sure. And we got a race for the lead right now. We got Nicholas Moreau and Jamie Knopp door to door.
Off turn 2. Oh, the 48 gets loose. Oh, my goodness. Did he hit the wall?
No, he didn't hit the wall, but they did a little light contact between the 2 of them, and I don't think it hurt anybody. Definitely something that Jamie did not want to see, and now he's it looks like he's going down to 3rd now to his pseudo teammate. Or are they pseudo teammates, or are those the actual teammates?
It's pseudo teammates. They're on a different team, but they work together. Him, the 48, the 90, the 06, and then 35 as well. All those guys working together.
Jamie's just he's taking about a lap or 2 to recover from that, because looks like he's going to be scored in 4th on a lap here.
See if I can pull that up again.
Well, Jamie was able to hold 3rd. He's got that outside line, so he's able to keep that run.
Woods returns 1 and 2, side by side with the 48 and the 77. 48 gets loose, gets into the side of the 77, and the 06 gets him back in the back of the 48. And how they didn't crash or hit the wall there, I do not know, because that was wild.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it'll shoot you halfway across the map when you when you have contact like that, and sometimes you just gather it up pretty easy. And wow, that would have been very interesting.
Let's see if we can ride on board with the 06. Side by side coming out 2, you see the 48 wiggling and finally gets in the side of the 77 and the 06. Oh my goodness. And these guys, heck of a job to hang on to that, man. That could have been a big crash, but these guys able to keep their cars straight. Amazing car control by these guys, doing a great job up front. Great racing for the lead. Little car contact, but I don't think anybody's for the worse of the wear, because the 48 didn't hit the wall. Nobody hit the wall. They just kind of bounced off each other and kept going.
They did lose about a second, though, to the lead lap. Either that or Nate Biggert's just gotten a little faster. So, I think, and it could be a little of both.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think Nate's kind of crunk it up a little bit. He's then got Crunk back there.
Yeah, he's about 2 seconds behind to make it a 5-man party up here in front.
And if these guys keep racing each other, he's going to have a shot. But he's got to make up some time as well, not burn his tires up trying to get there. We saw it cloud up a little bit through 1 and 2. It's going to change things a little bit as well.
Yeah, the weather and the cloud effect do actually have quite a bit of effect to these cars, and how they operate. And yeah, I mean, but I think these top guys, I think they brought a good piece with them. They got setups at work. Obviously, we've seen it, and just see what they got. They have less than 30 laps to go.
Yeah, working lap 139, 167, now on lap 140. 27 laps to go. And they know it. They're racing hard. You see the 06, man, he's able to really gain on the back of the 77 in a row there. And you kind of wonder if the 48 racing the 77 that hard has made him use his tires a little bit more.
Yeah, well, this is kind of what we saw almost right before the green flag pit stops. Kind of the 1, 2, 3 were in the same spot right now. Daniel was working on Nicholas, and He's working on them again right now. He took that apron, and they are door to door.
Inside of the 77. 77 on the outside. The 06 on the inside. Coming off turn 2. Can he keep the power down? No, the 77 is going to keep the momentum on the outside close to the wall off turn 2, but able to keep that momentum up and retain the lead.
Yeah, that inside line, it's just so hard to get a run and a pass on. And, you don't want to crowd a guy too much. You don't want to force him to be up there, but you don't know how tall, how up there he's going to be. So it's kind of one of those things where he's playing nice, staying low, and, giving your guy a little room. And actually, I'm watching the 06. He just got a little loose there in the middle of the track.
Yeah, I think the 77's kind of taking his lane away now. The 77's moved up the track a little bit in the tire tracks of the 06, and he's having to try to regroup and reformulate a new strategy here as we get at the line. They're going to have 25 laps to go here.
Yeah, Nicholas pulled out to almost a half a second lead right now, and does Daniel have anything more? I mean, we saw him. He was looking strong earlier with the same amount of laps. So anything's possible.
Looking back here a little farther, Matthew Vacon 6th, Danny LaFleur 7th, Jeff Chandler, good rebound after his issues, up to 8th spot. So still hanging inside the top 10, trying to salvage whatever he can here tonight. Joshua Johnson in 9th, and Lane Allen hanging solidly inside the top 10.
Well, and we'll see what Lane's going to be able to do a little later today too, because he's early on in this run. He kind of lays back a little bit, but later on, that's when we saw him making the moves. Josh Johnson too. I mean, he's obviously got a little bit left in the tank. Saving tires and whatnot.
There's the 06. Daniel Simmons trying to regain his momentum to get back to the 77. It's been really tough for him to try to make a pass. He tried it on the bottom and it did not work out. He's going to have to, as a matter of fact, he's going to go to the bottom again. Second lane through 1 and 2. Makes some time through the corner. Maybe gets a little bit closer. We'll see if he can attack once again.
Man, the 4 of them were strung out about 2 laps ago, and now they're all basically bunched up within about 2/10 of a second of each other, and they're moving along. And I'm watching Nate Biggert in 5th place right now, and he's still about 2 seconds. He's gaining a little bit on him, but not as much as he was a little while ago.
I tell you what, the 06 is looking really strong through 1 and 2. The 77 got loose off turn 2. Here he comes to the inside. Battle for the lead. The 06 is Simmons on the inside. Moreau on the outside.
Is he going to have enough on that inside? I think that
he clears
that little bobble. Yeah, we got a new leader.
New leader, the 06, Daniel Simmons takes the lead. Now the 48 of Jamie Knopf sees a weakness in the 77. Is going to try to take advantage of that.
Let's see if Nick's going to have it. There's Nick going to try and go on the outside. I mean, Daniel's got clean air now, so he could just run. And we know he's quick, and we know he's got the legs in the car. So can he stay there? Can he even start pulling away now? That's the question.
Nicholas Moreau back to the bottom, trying to take the battle back to the 06 of Daniel Simmons. Cannot get there, coming off turn 4, but he is right on the back bumper. Here comes the 48 with a run as well. Where's the 48 going to go? He's going to stay behind him. Now the 77 up high, turns 1 and 2. Trying to get that run off the corner. I don't know. Did he touch the wall there? No.
Yeah, it didn't look like it.
He's got to run. He's going to look to the inside. I don't know if that's more of a block or a look to the inside, but it stalled the momentum of the 48 as well.
All 3 of them, they're just kind of like looking for something. They're looking for that perfect lane to get into. I mean, you see Jamie Knopp down on the apron now, just trying to go. And then you got Jonathan Kahn in 4th, and he's just kind of like, you guys can all wreck each other. He's like, that's cool.
This is why these guys like this track. You can move all around the track. You see the 77 start to get around the inside. The 06 tries to pinch down a little bit of side draft going into turn 3.
They are door by door, but it looks like that outside line's going to get that run.
He does. He gets a run off the corner. The 77's still there, but the 06 just creeping towards the front, and he's going to clear him going into turn 1.
Now can Jamie hold Nicholas down now, too? Looks like Nicholas is going to be under fire for second here.
Bottom, middle, top. Which one's your favorite? Looks like the 77 choosing the bottom, 48 to the top, and the 06 running the middle saying, all right, guys, I don't know if I can fend off two here.
This has been pretty exciting up front. I'm kind of scanning through the back. We got Lane Allen up to 9th now. TJ Bartelo's starting to move his way up. He's sitting in 11th right now and just slowly trying to work his way up like we know he will. He obviously didn't do last run, but it looks like he's got it together and moving forward this time.
Now you move the 48 in the second place. He did finish that pass on the 77 of Nicholas Moreau. Was right on this back bumper of his teammate there going into one, and then they kind of separated and he lost a little momentum. I don't know if the 48 maybe looks a little stronger at this point.
Well, he was pretty strong. I mean, we saw him late on that run. I can't remember if it was the second run right after the stage. I mean, he was coming quick. He kind of did stall out, though, a little bit after a while, but he did have a 10-lap brilliance where he was running quicker than the top two.
What great racing, though. I just, I was watching this, and it's fun for those guys, fun for us to watch all over the track, using different lanes, middle, low, high. You kind of go wherever you think you can make some room. And I know some of these guys, too, are looking for fresh air, as well, clean air on the front of their nose as well. And this track allows you to do that. But it just seems like it's so hard to get a run and get a pass. These guys are fighting their cars, a little loose, a little tight here or there. And it's got to be fun after the fact, but I know behind the wheel you're working so hard. It's just so frustrating. You just want a little bit of grip and you can't get it.
Yeah, and they are, like you said, I mean, these guys are doing an excellent job out here, especially two being green. I mean, we had the one caution for a loose Richie. But other than that, I mean, yeah, everybody's been doing a great job holding their car. I mean, and there's just a lot of movement up and down, a lot of flow with the order. And yeah, it's been a great race. And that's why Chicagoland was a great track. And it's like, and I mean, even in the real racing, I mean, there was a lot of this. And, it's kind of sad that they don't want to run here anymore.
We've seen a lot of great racing here in Chicagoland. And actually, there are rumors that they're still keeping the track up as well. So it looks like they may actually be able to use the track in the near future. I'm not sure if it's a backup plan or what, but the track actually seems like it's in pretty good shape and being kept up because they still have staff keeping the track up as we speak. But hopefully we get back to this soon because we've had some really good races here in real life as well. You remember the Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch show that they put on here at Chicagoland years back? And yep. There are others. I think is it this track or was it Kansas that Carl Edwards made the video game move? I think it might have been Kansas.
That was Kansas, yeah.
But, I mean, we've seen some great races here at Chicagoland. They put on a good show because they can move all around the track.
Right. And, I mean, especially too where it's located. There's a drag strip, dirt track. There's another Autobahn road course country club kind of a deal out in that area. I mean, if you're getting rid of the Chicagoland track, Chicagoland ain't going to have another track anymore. There's no other place to put it, so why destroy something or rebuild it with the same damn track? I mean,
But luckily, we have forever preserved the track here in iRacing, so we'll always have it. Luckily for us, we'll always be able to come back to this track and have a lot of fun. You see them side by side again for a second. The 77 row again looking to the inside of the 48 of Knopf, and Knopf he has that run off the top side, man. We talked about momentum. It's just so hard to make that pass on the inside, but Nick Axel's hanging in pretty strong right here.
Yeah, and don't look now. We got 10 to go, or maybe even 9 to go at this point. But yeah, we're moving along. Time's a ticking, and just kind of looking through the field too, trying to see if anybody else is really starting to make any moves. We've talked about the top four: Daniel, Nicholas, Jamie, Jonathan, Nate Biggert still in 5th, Matthew Vicon 6th, Danny LaFleur 7th, Jeff Chandler's holding steady at 8th. Lane Allen is in 9th as well. Joshua Johnson 10th still. TJ 11th. Brian Dublé, kind of a little shocker. He was worked up to 12th, and he's one of those guys that does actually make a pretty good run towards the end of the race. And yeah, he's looking good in 12th right now. Kyle Milliken in 13th right now. Looks like he kind of cut off his bleeding. And then Further on, you got Sherwood at 14th, and
While you're
got passed
talking,
by Wayne.
they're still side by side for a second up here. And honestly, if I'm the 06 of Simmons, I love what I'm seeing in my mirror because and actually the 77 are able to clear there off turn 4. He's going to have 8 laps to try to run down the 06 of Simmons, who now has an 0.8 of a second lead over the 77 of Moreau.
Yeah, Daniel loves to see, especially when you're in the lead, the two guys that such a tight battle. Just, go ahead, keep fighting, guys. I'm just going to keep out here driving along. And, it did look like Nicholas finally got by Jamie. That was a good move on the inside. That's a tough move to make, too.
Daniel's been so close to winning some of these races. I can't tell you how many times he's finished second or third in these races. It just never really has worked out. He's got actually, I'll pull up his stats here in a minute, but I think he's got a win, but just it seems like things sometimes just don't go his way.
Yep, and it's one of those things too. Once you finally get that win, or once you finally start getting that momentum going, it just keeps going for you. I mean, look at Nicholas too for the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's still showing a strong second place run right now, and but I don't know, 3 for 3s probably doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Speaking of 3, Daniel Simmons has 3 wins, 5 poles in his 51 starts here at Full Throttle Sim Racing.
Well, that's pretty good stats.
Only one win in Cup, though. Only one win in Cup, and it was at Daytona in 20. Actually, it was this year. Sorry. So he's actually won. He won the Daytona race earlier this year.
Well, he's got a few more laps. I mean, Nicholas is starting to catch him a little bit. It's going to get spicy here the last couple of laps.
Nicholas is starting to inch in on the outside. The 77 Moreau making time on that outside lane. Daniel Simmons around the middle of the track. There are 5 laps to go. Can he hold him off? And you saw how hard it is to pass.
Now, is Daniel going to try and work that outside, trying to take that line away like Nicholas did to him earlier? He almost going to have to.
He's there, man. He's got some speed. That 77 coming on strong.
Yeah, Daniels definitely wanted to see them fight a little bit longer, but like I say, he's going to just have to kind of just drive in that big windshield. Just don't worry about what's behind you.
He's got to run to the outside, barely squeezing in there. Nicholas Moreau to the outside, and now they're side by side going into 3.
This does not look good for Daniel. That outside line is just a little too strong.
Here comes Daniel to the apron to try to shortcut the front stretch. Still side by side with Nicholas Moreau heading into turn 1. Actually inching ahead a little bit.
Yeah, that apron. If you hit that apron right, it does give you a little bit of boost, but it does hurt your entry.
Ooh, Nick right up against the wall, but coming off turn 2, he is going to clear the 06 of Daniel Simmons. The Nicholas Moreau machine, number 77, back out to the lead.
Back to the lead with 2 laps to go. Daniel looks like he's almost going to be under fire from his teammate, Jamie.
He's going to regroup and try to give it one more shot. 2 laps to go here at Chicagoland Speedway. Chicagoland 250 coming down to this. 2 laps to make something happen here. You got Nicholas Moreau out front, Daniel Simmons in second, Jamie Knopf in third. Fourth is kind of falling off is Jonathan Vacon. And actually, Nathan Bigger's dropped back to 7th as well, just as a note.
Yeah, it looks like he did fall back a little bit. I don't think it doesn't look like Jeff Chandler's going to get to him.
White flag, 1 lap to go here for Nicholas Moreau at Chicagoland. Can he hold off? The 06 going to the middle of the track, 48 to the high side of the track. Just doesn't look like the 06 has the grip coming off turn 2 to make a run down the backstretch. Heading off into 3 and 4. Nicholas going for 3 for 3. Looking strong here. Looks like he's going to do it off turn 4. 3 in a row for Nicholas Moreau. It sounds good. It looks good. Nicholas Moreau takes the checkered flag here at Chicagoland Speedway.
Wow. That was a pretty good race. I mean, Daniel, I don't know. Good run, man. He ran really good. Just wasn't enough. And I don't know if he just maybe needed a little bit more time on the outside. He was, maybe burned up tires running low. I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like he just kind of fell off there towards the very end of the race. Man, he looked strong early on, but then he fell off towards the end there. Just could not mount a charge back to the 77 Moreau. Moreau takes home the checkered flag. We've seen other drivers go on a run like this. Nathan Biggert looked strong early on in the season as well. Comes home in 6th spot tonight, though. Moreau's coming for him in the points, too.
Yeah, I'm looking back through the pack too. I mean, we didn't have too much of a shakeup as far as from when I last called out some of the names. Everybody looked about stayed where they were. We only had a little bit of shakeup in the first few top three for last couple laps. And
We'll see if we can take a look at our results as Nicholas Moreau burns it down. Taking home the win tonight. The 77 Moreau led to most laps, led to most important lap, takes home the victory. Coming home in second, the 06 of Daniel Simmons, another second place finish, but a solid run after a disappointing run last week. He's able to come home P2. P3, I think the driver of the day is going to go to the 48 of Jamie Knopf, up 19 spots from his starting spot, finishes in 3rd spot. 4th spot's going to go to Jonathan Vacon in the 97. 5th spot's going to be the 99 of Danny LaFlora. 3 of the top 5 being that Moreau Motorsports group. Pretty strong showing for them. The 6th spot's going to go to the 01 of Nathan Biggert. Jeff Chandler able to rebound from a tough start to the race, back up to P7. 8th place is going to be Matthew Vacon. 9th is Joshua Johnson. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be the 8 of Lane Allen, getting that top 10 spot.
And then when in 11th we got Brian Dublé, number 37th. Good run for him tonight. Then we got TJ Bartel, number 20, 12th. Kyle Milliken, 13th. Sherwood Williford in the number 1 car, 14th. Dave Nestert, 15th. Wayne Grossi, 16th. We saw him struggle a little bit early on, and unfortunately, it wasn't the way he probably wanted. James Torrey with a decent run. He led a few laps, 17th. Alan Crowell, 18th. James Wallace, our first guy 1 lap down, 19th. Then we got Ben Tracy, Ryan Hedrick, Colby Mice, Richie Coy with his damage, and then Alan Duranko, who was out after a few laps.
Yeah, like. Hey, it was a good run. That was a good race, good finish there at the end. Kept us on our toes. I'm sure it kept the drivers on their toes too. And we'll talk to them here as soon as I can get us switched over to That's Right, the Victory Lane post race show, powered by Victory Fuel. Remember, Victory Fuel. DrinkVictory.com. Use code FTSR for 10% off your order. And Tony, I know you can talk to this too. Those guys, they put out a great product. It's a refreshing product. I know Richie uses it a lot, or drinks it a lot. I've had the opportunity to try it as well, man. It's good stuff. I like the different flavors they have. Coming out with a new purple potion too. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm a grape fan, so yeah, that should be probably a crowd favorite for me at least. But yeah, it's a good product, good sponsor. Richie's probably drinking one with a shot of vodka in it tonight. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Let's see if we do we have our winner's not here yet, but I'm sure he'll pop in. But we'll go ahead and start with a 3rd place finisher. As soon as we can pull him in here, the 48 of Jamie Knopf finishes in 3rd spot. Jamie, what a drive. From the back to the front again, we kind of gave you driver of the day because of where you started, man. It had to be tough coming from the back there. You worked your way through on the first stage, had a great pit stop, and put you in position to fight for that win at the night. How things go?
It was pretty good. The wind was blowing real bad in turn 1 and 2, and if you run like the 3rd lane or 2nd lane, sometimes it was like the car would just lift off the ground. It was the craziest thing I've ever drove, and so that happened to me in qualifying. It was almost like the tire fell off. And so that's why I qualified bad. And then in the race, it did it a couple of times. And I figured out if I ran the very bottom, it wouldn't do it as bad. So I just stayed down there. Then it was hard to make passes toward the beginning of the run. So when everybody's tires fell off, I was able to, get by a couple of them. And then, like you said, since I had a real bad qualifying spot, I pitted early, on the pit stop there at the beginning of the pit road. And I think that helped me pass a couple cars. I think I gained 2 spots, maybe 3.
Well, it's funny.
Road there.
It's funny you mentioned the wind because we did see a lot of issues off turn 2. People would kind of push up off turn 2 and clip that wall. Speaking of, you guys had a close encounter there off turn 2 as well. You were on the outside of the 77 Monroe, like you got a little loose, almost got him, kept it off the wall though. But the 06 was right. Was it 06 in front of you or you in front of the 06? Anyway, it was really close battling there.
Yeah,
Towards the end
I
of
think
the run.
06 was behind me. He was like, man, that was a close call. I know it, man. I was sideways all the way through the corner, half throttle, trying to keep it off the wall because I knew if I hit the wall, it was going to bounce off and hit the 77. So I was trying to stay off, and we kind of bumped a little bit and then got it back going. So thank God we didn't crash there.
Yeah,
But
I know it was close for sure. I'm going to hand the mic to Tony. Tony, you got a question for him?
Well, I was going to ask him, what was his tire saving strategy, but apparently he didn't really need it too much. With the bad Q effort, he was just able to drive through the field and get her done. But no,
yeah,
it was a good run for you tonight. I really don't actually have a question for you other than just congratulations on the third. It was a good run.
thank you. Yeah, on the tire saving, so I kind of rode a little bit at the start. One guy had a bad start, so I was able to get in on the bottom. And then, like I said, I had passed a couple, and then I got real bad loose in 3 and 4, and then I went in 1 and 2, and it's almost like the car come off the ground. I was like, man, I've never felt that. I thought my internet was going out or something. And then so I just rode. Yeah, I said that during the race. I said that's why they call it the Windy City, I guess. And then so I rode about 10 laps there, and then a bunch of people had burnt their tires up and was getting loose. So I just stayed on the bottom because it didn't feel like I hit that. Off of 2, you would get loose if you ran the bottom. And normally I like to run the lane up just so you don't have that sharper curve and then it get loose toward the wall. But I was scared to get back up there, so I just babied the throttle and stayed on the bottom there. And then I think I pushed it a little too early in that second run. Then we pitted, and I come out second, and I was just going to ride right there in pace. But then we had that caution. And then on the restart, they were, some wanting to save their tires, some not. So they coming from behind too. So I should have rode in like 4th there and let everybody burn their tires up. And then, so I got up there and took the lead. And Brody knows I like to at least make it exciting for the fans watching. I don't want to just ride in line. So I got up there and I was able to get the lead. I didn't want Nick to lead every lap again this week. So I was able to get the lead, and then I knew I was going to burn my stuff up, and then I faded back to 3rd, and then I got back to 2nd, and I thought I was going to be able to get Daniel. I started running the 3rd lane, and it was really good. And then one lap I got a little tight, and then it started getting bad tight off of 4, and Nick was able to get under me and drive by me, and then I was kind of toast after that. I should have stayed on the bottom, and if nothing else, I might have could have battled for a 2nd, or at least maybe had a shot, but my right front was cooked there at the end.
Well, it's showing you guys definitely put the work in. You and Daniel Simmons both, I know you guys work close together, and the 35 of Ben Tracy. You guys brought a good piece to the track. You brought the fight to him. Just come up a little bit short with 2nd and 3rd, but you got to be proud of the teamwork. So, again, congratulations to a 3rd place finish. We're going to talk to your teammate here in a second, but congrats on 3rd place. You guys hold your head high. You had a great run going, just a little too long there at the end to catch the 77 Monroe.
Yeah, we needed about 5 laps left or 10 or less. But at least Daniel had a good run. He usually gets in a wreck or something when he's got a good car. So at least he was able to, have a good finish there. And congrats to Nick. That was an awesome run again. And Ben, he got the wall early and had toe damage the whole race. He said after 20 laps, they was telling him his right front was wore out. So
well, I hope Ben's toes are okay. You never want that toe damage. It's not good.
That's it.
Well, anyway, I'm going to hand you the mic and let you give your shout outs and your thanks, your sponsor plugs, whatever you want to do. The mic's yours. Take it away.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Daniel and Ben for practicing some this weekend or last week, and then Team Connie for the awesome setup, and you guys for doing the broadcast so we can have something to watch and laugh about or cheer about when it's over.
Well, it definitely was exciting. There's your 3rd place finisher tonight, the 48 of Jamie Knopf. Again, congratulations to him bringing it home in 3rd place. Teammate Daniel Simmons, though, was able to do one better, coming home just short of the win in P2. Daniel, congratulations tonight. Great round.
Thanks, man. It was close. I'm getting closer.
Listen, it was a lot of fun for us up here. It got to be fun from the driver's seat as well. You guys were so close, battling back and forth. Man, you needed to be 5 laps, the race to be 5 laps shorter. You'd have been all right. But Nick just came on strong at the end. Tell us about your race, how it progressed, the pit stops, the stage caution, kind of the mindset. Were you saving tires? Were you pushing? What was going through your head?
So that the first stage, I mean, I had such a bad week last week. I knew I kind of needed some stage points, so my plan was just kind of go as hard as I could right there. Thought I was going to be able to run Nick down. I got within like a second of him, and then I guess we kind of evened out. But I really didn't need the caution right after we pitted for the last time because I hit him, I pitted and beat him out of the pits by a good bit, and I think Jamie actually beat Nick out. So I had a pretty good little gap right there. So really, really hated to see that caution. And whenever we took back off right there, they all kind of got around me. I was like, I'm gonna save my stuff a little bit, and it kind of like they all got to racing. Jamie and Nick got to racing pretty good up there, and got back to them and got cleared. And where I probably messed up was whenever I got the lead. I was like, I just need to drive away right here and get as far away from them as I can, and maybe they'd battle it out. But it worked out. It just worked out 2 laps too short for me. So I just needed them to battle just a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, me and Tony were talking about that gap that you gave up when the caution came out there. I know that had to hurt for sure. Tony, you got a question or comment for him?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was probably 3 or 4 times during the race I'm like, man, Daniel's got this thing locked up, and the caution would fall. I think you had a good 2-second gap on second and third at that point, and then even towards the end, you had a 8/10, almost a second gap on. They were running too wide, and and I noticed that your Nicholas was running the outside quite a bit, and it just seemed like maybe you needed to run the out a little bit more, maybe to kind of take up his line a little bit, or was that even a thought in your mind to just try to move around on the track a little bit?
Well, I was going to, because whenever I run up behind him before we pitted for the last pit stop right there, I caught him, and I could run up to him, and then whenever he would kind of mirror drive a little bit and take my line away, man, it would just flat kill me. And he was kind of leaning towards the bottom, I felt like, when I was behind him for the most part. So I knew whenever he was kind of coming back to me right there at the end of the race, I was like, I think he's probably going to want the bottom, but I'm not sure. And then whenever I got down there, I didn't have a right front to kind of keep me down there, and it was just a struggle after that. So I felt like if I did run the top, it's like the wind would catch my car weird, especially through 1 and 2 every now and then, and it would just snap it completely sideways. I think it actually got Nick one time. I think when I got around him one time, that's what happened to him. So it's just kind of weird. I was kind of scared to get up there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of issues off turn 2 for sure, and it definitely was tricky out there for sure. But hey, listen, you did a great job in P2. Jamie comes on P3. I know you guys work closely together. You obviously had a great piece. You guys almost got it done there at the end, just a little bit short. But again, a great run. You were talking about points, great points finish for you tonight. Get back in the battle there for sure. But I'm going to hand the mic to you, and I'll let you thank your sponsors or anybody watching, anything going on out there.
Yeah, man, just got to thank Ben, Tracy, Jamie Knopf, putting in the time and kind of getting the setups perfected. Got to thank Team Connie for the setups. You guys for putting on the amazing league and broadcasting.
All right, well, there's your second place finisher. A great run tonight for the 06 of Daniel Simmons, bringing it home P2. Great points night. Very interesting, very exciting finish there. But they just couldn't do anything with now our winner for the 3rd time in a row, the number 77 of Nick Moreau. You like how that goes together. We'll try to make it 4 next week. But hey, congratulations, man. Great run, great finish. It was close at the end. A pass or 2 or 3 laps to go there. You had to fight for that one.
Oh yeah, very fun race. Racing with these guys, it's fun, because you can racing hard, and then what they are doing, and we I just have to to say one word, it was fun but hard and tired. But yeah, I have to push hard at the end. I lost the lead with the. I almost spun and into the turn one. Some like with what 20 to go. I don't know. And then it was like, oh no, I need to pass those guys, and it's hard to pass because um it's tight too much when you enter in the bottom, and then it's sometimes it's loose. So very fun night.
Yeah, it seemed like it was really tough out there. I know a lot of guys were struggling off turn two. That's what Jamie and Daniel both brought up, the fact that it felt like the wind was kind of gusting off turn two, causing the car to do some weird things off two and making it very tough out there. Just talk a little bit about, man, the fight to try to get there at the end. It's just like, it seemed like your car came on with like 5 laps to go. And it just kind of came right back to the back of Daniel Simmons, and you were able to make that pass.
Well, yeah, when I got the pass, I got a second, and was like, okay, from there I'm second, and I try everything I can to to get closer for the draft. And I had to cool off my right rear tower for a few laps, running on top, especially in the turn 1 and 2, and that worked. And running at the very bottom in the 3-4, I noticed that I was catching Daniel like for a tenth or two by lap. So I was like, okay, I have my chance. And then I tried to play in his head, running up, down, up, bottom, and I, g- you know, I run, but I run on top for a few laps, like I said, and then I tried the bottom, and the car was on rail on that lap, especially. So I was like, okay, I can get it.
You definitely did. Tony, I'm going to hand it over to you. You got anything you want to say to him?
Well, I'm going to say, hell of a night tonight, Nick. 3 in a row on top of it. You had a great race. I can only, not that it even matters, but you were a little slow on the pit stops. You lost a few spots a few times. I'm just curious what was happening there.
Shame on me. Shame on me. It was
You
always
missed a crew guy sick or something?
twice. Yeah. So I missed the pit box twice or 4 hours. My pit stop was very poor. So yeah. But the yellow came out just at the right time when I exited the last pit. So it was not a big deal. But I need to practice that.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, it definitely wasn't a big deal. But yeah, I just noticed after every green flag stop or yellow flag stop there, we were like, man, he just lost another few spots. But no, other than that, hell of a job though tonight. You did a
Great job, Tony. You're going to make him work even harder. That's
Yeah,
awesome. All these drivers are going to be mad at.
Sorry, guys. I'm in the booth now, so.
Yeah, but anyway, Nick, hey, congratulations, man. What a run, 3 in a row, 3 completely different tracks too, but 3 in a row, man. What an impressive run. You talked about how if you put the practice in, this is the result you get, and you guys are definitely putting the work in. All 4 drivers tonight finishing inside the top 10 as well. That's very impressive for the team at Moreau Motorsports. So great job. I'm going to hand you the mic though. Let you give out your thanks, your sponsor plugs, anything you want to say there.
Yeah, as usual, I will say thanks to Transit for a sponsorship with the Racing, what they do for us all year long, and shout out for my teammates for sure. Danny, I think he missed some laps at the end, but Jonathan and Matthew did a very good job. Shout out for the Daniel and Jamie. Very nice to fight with them. And yeah, so. I try for sure to for a fourth in a row, but it's hard, and I honestly I'm not sure if I will because we have a real racing next Saturday, so I had to go at the garage for some nights this coming week. So I'm not sure I will be able to practice like I did few weeks earlier, but I'll see.
Yeah, well, we got the tricky triangle coming up at Pocono, so we'll see how tricky it is for you. Again, congratulations tonight, 3 in a row. Awesome run. Awesome racing at the finish, and again, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
All right, there's your winner tonight, Tony. 77 Nicholas Moreau making it 3 in a row. But man, was the racing good up front. It on paper it looks like, oh, he won again, but really it was really close up front.
Yeah, he definitely had to work for this one tonight. I mean, do we say it's three in Monroe?
Three. Oh no.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have went there. But yeah, I mean, he did. He had to work for it. I mean, and we knew early on too. I mean, he wasn't really pulling away from anybody. I think the most gap he had was a second gap early on, and but then you had Daniel, you had Jamie on him, and I mean, it was really the three of them fighting all night, and you know, I mean, a hell of a driving on all three guys. I mean, including everybody else in the league. Everybody had a really great run tonight. I mean, a lot of guys, you know, everybody was nice and clean, a little bit of bumping and here and there, but for the most part, everybody kept it clean, kept it green, and it was a great race overall throughout the whole field.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. I hope everybody enjoyed watching. We enjoyed calling it. Got to give another shout out to Victory Fuel. Remember to go to drinkvictory.com, enter code FTSR, get your 10% off your first order. You got to try this stuff, man. The fruit punch is my favorite, or they call it the throttle punch. You got to try it out. They got Lucky Lemon. They got grape. Actually, grape should be out pretty soon. They call it Purple Potion. So be looking for that. Check them out, victoryfuel.com. FTSR is your code for 10% off. Another shout out to them. Great run tonight. Great job for the guys at Full Throttle Sim Racing, all the guys out there in the FTSR Mach-1 Performance Cup Series. I've enjoyed it. So for Tony Solari and the whole crew at Full Throttle Television, my name's Brody Hanna. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week at Pocono.